Me and my best mate Jimmy grew up together in the 80s.
Josie, Oliver, stop running in the corridors.
And ever since we were kids, we've shared a passion for good food together.
Open her up, let's get a coffee on.
That's why, now we're all grown up, we've come home to Essex and opened our own little cafe at the end of Southend Pier.
Who's up for a pie? I'll stick one down here.
We've called our caff the Food Fight Club, where I'll be doing some cooking with some of our mates.
We're going to do a toasty.
You're just patronising me
Yes,
now,
yeah,
aren't you?
Both times the fire brigade came.
Go on, Gary Barlow.
Jimmy will be uncovering some of the weird food science.
Time to get down and dirty. It's perfectly safe, isn't it?
And just like our school days, there'll be loads of laughs.
You might as well tell me how to cook my children. What's wrong with you?
This is your show.
I know,
I'm
but-
just a guest.
We're also going to be putting our reputations on the line by hitting the road to challenge our continental cousins, because we want to prove Great British Grub deserves its place on the world stage.
Right, this is it. The time has come.
We'll fight the French with our cheese.
Be afraid, be very afraid.
It's very tense. Can you feel it?
We'll bash the Germans with our sausages.
We're up against the best. I think we made a slight mistake there, Jim. I really reckon we've got our work cut out here.
I have my decision.
We'll have a beer off with the Belgians.
We are here for a battle.
Shut up, just don't grass me up.
Have you seen what he's done?
I feel a little bit hot and bothered.
Are you up for a fight?
And we'll mess with the godfathers of desserts in Italy.
Now you are in Italy and the competition is serious.
Don't trust anybody.
I think it's going to be close.
So welcome to the Food Fight, where good food is worth fighting for. Coming up on Food Fight Club, we take on the Belgians at beer.
Bring in the beer.
Jimmy serves up the fish and chips of the future.
I'll just put snails in your scampi.
Snails.
And Gary Barlow drops in for a food fight.
Open up, Gary, let me see. Oliver? Oh, no. Where's Kerry-Ann, Jimmy? She's not here.
Today we got proper comfort food on the menu. Bangers and barbecued ribs.
Here she comes, Kerry-Ann. Half a day.
I'm really sorry, lads.
And we're washing them down with some cracking British beers.
Now, we've got lovely little specials on today. This is all stuff that's great with beer.
We've handpicked half a dozen homegrown beers for our diners, all created by a new generation of amazing artisan beer makers.
I think there has been a time in history where our beer started to become a bit more generic.
Yeah.
But the last 10 years, there's been a beer revolution. There's so many cool things happening.
And to prove just how good we reckon our beer is these days, we're going to take on the world champions, the Belgians.
Are you ready to take on the Belgians? Yeah! Let's do it.
Do you remember American Werewolf in London? Where it was the scariest thing we'd ever seen in our life.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes. I saw that the first time on New Year's Eve on a Betamax video, and I was in the room on my own, and it happened, and I scared myself so much that I took the video out of the Betamax and I pulled all the reel out of the video. It scared me so much, Jim.
We're hitting the road for what might be the toughest food fight yet. The Belgians take their beer incredibly seriously. They have over 500 different types of beer, and they treat them with the same respect that the French save for their finest of wines.
In Belgium, beer is a religion. They are Euro kings when it comes to beer. If you said to the average punter, Belgium, tell me about it.
Yeah, they go Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yep.
They go the Smurfs.
Yes.
They would say Tintin.
Mussels and chips. And what else?
Beer.
The Belgians wouldn't be seen dead drinking our beer, but we want to change that.
Because in the last few years, the British beer industry has been transformed, with small craft breweries creating complex, delicious beers that couldn't be further from your average pint.
There's definitely been a revolution in microbreweries and craft beers.
Definitely.
And they're the beers that we need to take to Belgium.
We're off to meet one of the country's most respected beer experts. We need him to help us choose the 5 incredible British beers to compete against the best that the Belgians can throw at us.
He's brilliant. He's a great old British gentleman. There's nothing that he doesn't know about beer. He knows the beer scene inside and out.
What Rupert Ponsonby doesn't know about beer isn't worth knowing. He set up the first beer academy in Britain to train beer sommeliers.
Mr. Ponsonby.
Jamie, good to see you.
How are you?
And we really need his help. Because if we win, the Mayor of Brussels has promised to replace Belgian beers in bars across the city with ours.
You asked me 5 styles of beer to be our champions, to go with you to Belgium.
Yes.
So what I've done today is I've assembled this wonderful army.
What's first? What's the first category?
It has to be pale ale.
These beers are pale because of the types of malts used, just as the type of grape skins used affects the colour of wine.
I chose this one. This is called Rocky Head. So this is quite resonant on the back of the palate. Quite strong. For some people, maybe a step
Quite
too far.
punchy, isn't it?
What's next?
Number 2, well, our history as a nation is female brewers rather than male brewers. So they were Brewsters.
Love it.
And so this brewery is called Brewster's Brewery.
Much lighter in colour.
So the more you cook your barley, the darker it becomes.
It's lighter on the fragrance.
That's a battle beer.
It's delicious, so we're going to go with Brewster's.
Next up, Abbey beers, usually strong and sparkling. It's a category the Belgians are world famous for.
So here you are, you're an Abbey-style beer from Ampleforth. This is a cloudy beer. No, this means it hasn't been filtered, it hasn't been refined. All that natural goodness, that wonderful stuff.
That, my friend, is amazing. Very like a Belgian beer.
And you'll be up against it in Belgium. It's one of their specialities.
What's the next Abbey beer?
That's it. We only have, at the moment, we only have one sort of monastery actually brewing their own beer. But it's
In the whole of Great Britain?
Ampleforth or bust.
Next category is beer infused with other flavours, such as fruits and plants. It's another Belgian favourite.
Fruit beers are a big, big thing for them. Wonderful raspberry beers, strawberry beers, passion fruit beers. What I've got for you today, this is a raspberry beer.
I love it, but in Belgium, it's going to be a rough time.
This beer from Scotland, this is an oak-aged beer.
Created by maturing the beer in navy rum barrels, giving a sweet, spicy character.
Smells amazing. It looks incredible.
It's delicious.
That draws me.
Yeah.
There's subtlety, complexity.
That's got to be in it.
So, on to the next.
The strong beers. These are the beers with an alcohol content of over 7%. The strength of the beer is determined by how much sugar and what type of yeast is used in the brewing process.
This is the current champion beer of Britain. Sometimes you want refreshment, sometimes you want something for food, sometimes you want a beer which is going to hug you.
I want all
This
those things.
is a beer that will hug you.
Also, the more we drink, he's turned into a lovely, sexy woman with a bikini,
I
pair of high heels.
roast chicken for me.
Let's
I'm
just
starving.
What have you got next?
It's called Maris Otter.
It makes me feel like it's doing me some good. Flavour's wonderful. I think this is a goodie.
Finally, it's the dark beers, where the malted barley has been roasted at high temperatures to produce a dark, rich colour.
First one is a beer called Snecklifter. So this is a nice easy brew, which I think is absolutely drop-dead gorgeous in a softer style. So if I had my Dundee cake, I'd have this. For my second beer, I got something which will sort of blow your socks off. This is from London.
Colonel.
It's dark chocolate, it's dark coffee. And just think, why have a cappuccino when you have a beer like this?
That is very good.
Delicious. In Belgium, we're going to have to stand out, and I think it's the Colonel.
It's the Colonel for me.
Colonel.
There she is.
OK, so we have our 5 battle beers.
Brewster's Pale Ale, Ampleforth Abbey Ale, Innocent Gun Rum Finish Beer, Maris Otter Vintage Ale, and the Colonel Export Stout.
Cheers, mate.
Real education.
Wish us luck.
Are you driving?
Not now.
No. Oh, my.
Before we take on the Belgians at their own game, Jim and I are going to make our very own craft beer. So we're off to one of the new wave of British breweries that are producing so many exciting beers. Camden Town Brewery in North London is at the forefront of our British beer renaissance. And Jasper Cuppage and James Garstang are the guys behind the brewery's innovative reputation.
We want them to help us make a unique modern beer of our own. And if it's good enough, we'll put it in the competition.
So how has beer changed then? What's happening to beer?
Flavour. And people just, changing method, making it more interesting, not bland.
We're going against the Belgians, and they're pretty hot when it comes to beer.
And serious. True that.
What do you fear about the Belgians when I say Belgian beer?
Structure, with hop, with spice, with everything, and giving the great depth of flavour.
Because essentially we want a beer that stands up to criticism as well.
What have we got to do to make it something really cool, funky, with a bit of punch?
I think the way we can step to the Belgians is using loads and loads of hops.
Well, guys, I reckon that's enough talking. Let's make some beer that's going to knock their socks off.
The recipe for beer hasn't changed in thousands of years. You soak some grain in hot water, add hops for flavour, and ferment with yeast to make it alcoholic.
OK, boys, first step, we need to start weighing out some of this grain.
We're using a traditional English malted barley, Maris Otter. It'll give our beer a golden amber colour with a pale malty flavour.
Maris Otter is one of the best brewing grains in the UK.
You can't beat British grain. Amazing.
No.
Next, we've got to make a porridgey mash by soaking our barley in hot water.
Basically, that's the equivalent of your coffee grinder here with your grain.
Yep.
And then this is the equivalent of your cafetiere.
Exactly.
So you're getting all the flavour out of it.
Get the flavour, get the sugars.
I mean, this is all quite new, isn't it?
That's not a ZX Spectrum 48K, is it?
You can decide how alcoholic it's going to be, how fat it's going to feel.
Wow. I don't think people realise this amount of detail goes into a humble pint.
Next, we need to add the hops.
This will give us loads and loads of juicy, juicy flavours. It's quite bitter.
And then we add the yeast.
This is like the infusion centre.
Definitely.
So we've got the bass notes and the structure here, the mid and the treble here.
Our beer is ready to be left fermenting, but we want to push it a bit and give it one more really modern twist.
This is where we flip tradition a little bit. So traditional brewing finished here, modern, young craft brewing starts here.
Now, Jasper's going to show us how we can put a new twist on our beer. Once the traditional brew cools down, we're going to infuse yet another layer of flavour into our beer by adding a heap more hops. This new process is called dry hopping, and it adds an extra dimension of flavour to the beer.
Oh, my Lord, are you serious?
With all that, so you're getting real beer nectar. So like the nectar from the flowers infused into the juice of your beer.
OK, so traditionally you're cooking them, heating them and extracting completely different things out of it. And then here, on top of that, you're adding all the fresh stuff.
You got it, so making a complete cold infusion.
This is modern brewing at its best, and hopefully it's going to make our beer taste great. All it needs is some time to soak up the hoppy flavour.
It's in your hands, you look after it. We've got to beat the Belgians.
Yes.
Done.
Nice one.
Can't. Thanks, mate.
Good luck, man.
Brilliant job.
We'll do you proud.
Back at the caff, and while our diners are tucking into ribs and lovely British ales, special guest Gary Barlow pops in.
Gary's here, girls! Mr. Barlow!
Mate, you're okay.
Nice to see you.
Lovely to have you.
Where are we?
Southend. Southend Pier.
I feel
This
like
is
I
the
needed my
heart of Essex.
passport.
Time for Gary to get busy with an ale-inspired recipe.
This is the Barlow steak and ale pie.
Oh,
Can you believe it?
heaven.
Yes.
Do you know, I love pies.
Because pies were an important part of your childhood, weren't they?
Wednesday night was pie night, so it'd be like chicken and mushy, steak.
There's a cut of meat called a skirt steak. And if you put your hands up,
Yep.
right, it's just here,
Okay.
right, and down here.
Hello.
Right? I think it tastes better. You know, a regular stew might take 3 or 4 hours. This gets cooked to perfection in an hour and a half. Now, what are your
Feels
knife skills
tender.
like, darling?
They're not bad. Do you want to cook like this, or...?
What I'd love to do, can I give you a little chopping
Yes,
lesson?
mate, go.
OK, so you're cutting like this, right, and your fingers are just asking for trouble.
Oh, dear.
Thumb comes out the way, fingers go in,
Oh, I like that.
right?
Yep.
And I'm just going to tap, like that.
So go for the claw method.
Yes.
Here we go.
Come on, the Barlow. Gary Barlow in the house with a big chopper in his hand, smashing out the mushrooms.
This is great.
Put some onions and fresh herbs on a medium heat for about 20 minutes.
See, it's all sweating off nicely. That's a nice bedrock of flavour there. A kilo of the skirt steak.
Yep.
Also, skirt steak is really good value. And then if you can put your mushrooms in here
Yep.
as well. I want 2 tablespoons of tomato puree to give it that little sweetness. A good, generous pinch of salt. That's Malden sea salt from down the road. Black pepper, be generous.
Yep.
And about 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Can you get the beer for me, darling?
Oh, yeah.
I've got some nice... Behave yourself when you're down there.
Hello.
Here we go. So we're going to go in with a bottle of this beautiful stout. Use any beer you like, but the important thing is use a beer that you love. And then the best thing we can give it now, ingredient-wise, is time. Is there a member of the band that always kind of gets the more risky or shoddy jobs?
When Rob came back, right, I'll be honest, I've never said this before, but when he came back, the guy that does our tours said, right, I want one of you to do a swan dive off the top of the stage, 100 feet up. And we all went, Rob likes doing that. He wasn't there at the time. So we told him there was no option, it was always made for him, that part. Bless him, and he did it every night.
After an hour and a half, the sauce should be thick and the meat should be lovely and tender.
That is so gorgeous.
And that's the beer. And another thing about beer is there are amazing flavours in there, and as it cooks, it changes. Now, there's a secret ingredient that I learnt from my Maori brothers in New Zealand. And Maori boys always loved a bit of really good cheese, a bit of cheddar. It gives you the most phenomenal sort of eating experience. So now what I want you to do is I want you to roll this up.
Yeah.
And I want you to just drape it over there like that. Great job.
I love that.
In the oven, 180 for about half an hour, and then you're laughing. Look at that.
Are you sturdy? Because I'm going in.
I'm sturdy. I'm holding.
I might need 2 hands.
I'm hoping I'll have a go too.
You might need 2 hands. Oh, it's crispy as well.
How's that skirt?
Righteous.
Is it touching the place?
Oh, yeah.
Coming up, Jimmy launches a fish and chip shop of the future.
It wouldn't be complete without a pie. I've done squirrel and mushroom.
We suss out the competition with a shift in a Belgian bar.
I feel a little bit hot and bothered.
You are not fast enough.
And Gary gets his food fight face on.
I got some beautiful classic roast beef sandwiches, homemade beer mustard. Got some lovely pickled cucumbers and radishes, so I'm going to give you those.
Welcome back to Food Fight Club, where Gary Barlow's in the house for a catch-up and some food fight action.
Me and Jimmy, we used to dance brilliantly.
Did you?
We used to
to your music.
To your music.
Did you really?
Yeah. Take That was on, and we'd be like, Jamie, dance floor, up to girls. And somehow the magic would flow from your voice into our veins,
through our bodies.
and then we'd pull these girls.
Like honey in your ears.
Honey in my ears.
I get it. I get it.
Every time you sang Relight My Fire, our arms were in the air.
Yeah.
It's like...
Is this like last week? Oh.
Yes. And our legs were up. And I remember when I used to have my stereo stack unit. Do you remember those?
Stack, yeah.
Yeah. Put your hands up if you remember making love to Take That. Oh.
That's just you.
It's me and you.
But not together.
Bless you. I'm actually going red now.
No, you should be. You've had a good run. It's over now, but you've had a good run.
Yeah. But listen, this is Food Fight Club. It's all about a challenge.
Yep.
Now, I've heard that once you've done your gig, you're so full of energy, you need to relax. How do you chill out?
Well, we're boiling when we come off because we move around a lot. You know, I've got lots of dance moves in me that have to come out during a lot.
Don't you laugh?
So, yeah, we're all hot, boiling hot, and what we do is, you won't believe it, we jump in an ice bath.
Yes.
Together or singularly?
No, there's not. It's quite small, so we jump in one by one. After about 10 seconds, you feel incredible. I mean, your body, the blood's rushing through your system. It's great. And what happens then is you have about an hour of feeling amazing, and then you just crash and go to sleep. Before I used to do ice baths, I'd be up for hours thinking, what am I going to do?
Just
you know,
buzzing.
come on, everyone, looking at the dog. Come on, dog, let's go.
Well, I've heard about this, and we've got a competition, because Food Fight is all about the competition.
OK.
Now, this is about how long you can hold ice cubes in your mouth for.
OK.
OK?
Yeah.
You up for it?
Who's doing it? Me?
You are.
Me and you.
Come on, Gary.
Let's do
Going
2.
in.
Let's compromise
Oh,
at 2.
well, I've got 2 together.
He's got a small one, though, Jamie.
I'm going to stack them up.
Pop him in. Hold in. Now, you've got to... That's it. You've got to imagine you're somewhere else. That's it. Look at the steam coming out of his mouth. Jamie's got a very big mouth there. He can hold 2 perfectly. Gary, this must be good for your vocal cords. Come on, million love songs. Close those lips. That's it. Oh, hey up. I love that. Come on, Gary. This is North versus South. It is North versus South. You're going to do it. Oh, mate. Now, ice cream headache. Ice cream headache, Jamie. Let me feel that. Freezing cold. Open up, Gary, let me see. It's like a little polo, it's hardly there. Oliver? Oh, no. It's like a freezer door opening. Spit them out, dude. Spit them out. Gary Barlow! That is a northern wind, ladies and gents.
It is colder up there.
It's cold.
You going to be on the ball today?
Oh, I'm always on the ball, aren't I? Except for when I'm late.
OK.
Right, time to get back to another continental food fight.
You know what the fight is today, Gary? Beer. We are fighting the Belgians on beer.
Fancy picking on the Belgians. They haven't got much. Whoever says, oh, I've just been on holiday to Belgium. I mean, nobody.
But they are the self-styled kings of beer, Gary. So we've got our work cut out if we're going to beat them at their own game. Time to get back on the road.
Because I grew up in a pub. I mean, I reckon I poured my first pint, by the time I was like 8.
When you live above a pub, you're used to it, but for someone like me walking in, it's an Aladdin's cave. It was just like, oh my God, why don't you drink everything and eat all the crisps and eat all the pickled eggs? I used to love coming around yours.
Enough of the reminiscing, Jim. We've got a beer battle to take care of.
Beer is part of our nation, part of our heritage, but we're up against the Belgians. They take their beer really seriously.
It's what defines them as a country.
Yeah. They're going to be tough. It's going to be a real tough one.
We've chosen 5 brilliant British beers to take into battle against the Belgians. And if we win, we get to replace their beers with our victorious ones in the bars of Brussels for one beautiful whole day.
All we need to do now is to meet up with the brewers of our battle beers, because they're coming with us for the food fight.
Brewers and Brewsters of Britain, thank you so much for coming. We're going against the Belgians, and they are world leaders when it comes to beer,
They're
right?
proper smug. When we told them we were going to fight them with the best of British, they were like this.
But what you guys are packing is liquid dynamite. They won't be expecting it, and I think we can wipe that smile off of their face.
Absolutely. The quality that you've produced is phenomenal.
Oh.
So,
are you guys ready for a fight?
Yes!
But there's one more beer we need to make a decision about before we get to Belgium. That's the beer that Jim and I made. We're going to test it out on a few fellow passengers. If it gets a thumbs up, we'll add it into the competition.
Well, look, I've got a little plan. We're on a train, and we've got everything that we've ever wanted. Yes, a captive audience.
Right, time to get into character and do some research.
Whose idea was this?
Nuts, beer, nuts.
Any refreshments, ladies? That nice young lady next to you, would you like a little top-up?
Yeah, it's amazing. I really like it. It's really nice. It's really refreshing.
Not bad, is it?
Our beer is going down well with the Brits, but it's the opinion of the Belgians that really counts.
Tell me what you think of that beer. Do you think it's as good as Belgian beer?
Is it English beer?
Yes, it is.
I doubt it.
Are you normally beer drinkers, ladies?
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers to you, ladies.
What do you think?
Judging by that reaction from our Belgian brothers and sisters, I reckon it's never going to win over the judges.
Take the beer back, James. Take the food back. Bloody ungrateful.
So we can't risk putting it in the competition.
Nuts, beers, nuts.
Still, we've got our army with us to fly the flag for Great British Beer. We've arrived in Brussels and it's time to check out the opposition and to find out how good these Belgian beers really are. So we're getting a crash course at one of the city's oldest bars.
Taking us under his wing is head waiter Luciano.
I'm going to give you a lesson of Belgian beer because it's very important for Belgium.
With literally hundreds of beers to their name, most Belgians consider themselves to be global connoisseurs of ale.
This one.
For a start, every single beer has to be drunk from its own special glass.
Can we make it simple all in one glass?
No, not at all.
So each glass
We're never going to remember all this.
Each glass gives what to the beer?
The taste.
So the same as wine?
Exactly.
If I put the wrong beer in the wrong glass here, what would happen?
Not in my bar.
No?
It's wrong. No time to talk, we're going to work.
How hard can this be? I mean, we're just serving beer, right?
Hartwell. Hang on a minute, I can't remember which one.
I know where they all go.
One framboise, one duvel, and one blanche.
One Duvel and one Blanche. Where's that?
Where's the Arval?
Orval, right here.
I'm going to put the wrong glasses up, see what he does.
Yeah.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Okay? Jimmy, this is a lively pump. How the hell do you do this? It won't come out slow. Jimmy, it's milk.
Hello, that's what I did.
Just don't grass me up.
I'll never glass you up. Have you seen what he's done to the pump?
That's all head.
Quick, quick!
Fast, a bit faster. Yes, another 7.
You want another 7?
See?
I feel a little bit hot and bothered.
You are not fast enough.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm losing money with you.
Jimmy, he said he's losing money.
Another one there. I think we've got...
That's a terrible pint.
I can't... It's that pump. No, you ruined it.
Now it's enough. You come out of the bar and they're going to take it over. It's not good enough, okay?
No? I think he's not happy.
Mate, he's miffed.
Can we take the orders?
No, okay, yes, and I'm going to take over the bar.
Hopefully we'll do better on the floor.
Hello, ladies.
I'll take the girls, Jim. You take those cute boys.
OK, gents, drinks, what would you like? The girls.
Go.
A creek.
A cake? No problem.
It's quite fruity. It's a girly beer.
Oh, it's nice, though.
Orval.
Orval. That's a new one for me.
This is so difficult. There's so many different beers. Everyone has a different glass. I can't pronounce half of them, and on top of that, I've got all these guys with massive moustaches shouting at me. This is nuts.
There's a mountain to climb learning about Belgian beers. But what do they think about ours?
They're warm and they don't taste good.
Oh, really?
They are really flat. Not many content. Dishwater.
Dishwater?
Yeah.
If we brought a couple of English beers over here in a competition, what do you think the chances are?
I think the Belgian beer wins.
Right, that's it. I'm not coming back here.
With no less than 150 international beer awards to their name, it's easy to see why they laugh at our beer. But at tomorrow's competition, will our 5 battle beers wipe the smile off their face?
Right, come on, let's get out of here.
Mate, that was such hard work. I thought we were going to get our asses kicked.
Mate, I grew up in a pub, and that was nothing like whatever I saw.
All those glasses, all the glasses,
beers.
all the different beers. I mean, look how serious they take it in terms of glasses.
You look like you're an experiment.
Looks like a test tube.
And this is a Trappist monk beer, right? And there's only 7 Trappist monk monasteries in the world, and there's 6 of them here. And you know what, these monks, you know, part of their religion is to be seen to be paying their way. And that's why they have to make their beer, they make their cheeses. And really, the better the jobs they do, the better their beer, the better they are at being a monk. Jim, what is this? I thought you said it was a beer competition.
We're here for salvation.
Why are you always dreaming me in your dreams?
We're not alone.
What on earth is going on, Jimmy?
These aren't the brewing monks, Jum.
You want to fight? Let's fight.
What should we do?
We should split up.
Right, let's go.
Who do you think you are, Jean-Claude Van Damme?
We're gonna smash your beers!
Not so confident now, are you?
Take that, Smurf lover.
I told you, no one messes with an Essex boy. Oh, come on, Jim. Let's go. We should take inspiration in the monks and their philosophies, all that reflection and contemplation, stuff like that. Jim. Jim?
Jim.
Sorry, mate.
Where you been?
I've got monks on my mind, I think.
Monks on your mind? Mate, tomorrow we got to battle the Belgians, and that ain't going to be easy.
It's going to be tough. I reckon it's an early night for us.
It's 1 in the morning already. What are you talking about?
Coming up, the Belgian food fight commences.
Man, we are getting smashed.
I launch my alternative chip shop.
We have got squirrel and mushroom pie.
And Gary eats his final course on the roller coaster.
Back in Southend, and we're hanging out with Gary Barlow.
I've actually played here before in Southend.
Have you?
Yeah, in like 1991 when we were starting off. Never been back since, mind.
And Jimmy's been looking at the future of our humble British fish and chips.
Nothing beats a good old-fashioned chippy meal. Crispy battered fish, hot meat pie, and scampi. They're all firm favourites. But how much longer are they going to be around?
Overfishing means we're in danger of clearing the oceans of chip shop favourites like cod, haddock, and even the meat in our pies may have to change if farming methods continue as they are.
We need to start shaking things up right now with a menu that uses stuff that's all around us.
So I want to create a sustainable chip shop selling my versions of classics like battered cod, scampi, fish cakes and steak pie. The surf and turf in my creations will all be delicious and abundant, but maybe a little bit challenging. I'm going to trial my creations at a popular chippy. If any of them go down a storm, owner Kerry might put them on her menu. I think I stand a chance, but I can see that Kerry thinks I've bitten off more than I can chew.
People don't normally like change. It's fish and chips, it's a pie. So if they've made up their minds, that's what they want. That's exactly what they want to come and have. To be honest with you, it's a little bit of a mountain to climb for him.
I've really got my work cut out, so I've drafted in development chef Kate.
A fish and chip shop classic, which is the fish cake.
Yeah.
But we're using this stuff, jellyfish.
Yeah.
And there's loads of jellyfish, and they cause a big problem because they get to plague proportions in certain parts of the world, and they hoover up everything in the sea. We should mix it with another pest.
Okay.
These guys are North American signal crayfish.
These foreign invaders have taken over our waterways. They couldn't be more abundant, and they are a great alternative to cod that usually goes into chip shop fish cakes. To give my fish cake some pizzazz, I'm using chilli, ginger, garlic and coriander.
Right.
Tastes nice, huh?
Now, the trick to avoid overfishing and collapsing fish stocks is to diversify what we eat. So for my take on our classic scampi, I've found a scrumptious, slippery substitute.
Snails. High in protein, low in fat. And in farming terms, you can produce 100,000 snails in a tiny little area, say the size of a large garden shed. It's not like having a herd of cows, is it?
To tart up our little friends, it's into the frying pan with parsley, garlic and butter.
Dip that in a light crispy batter. I'm thinking like a tempura batter.
Good.
Into the deep fat fryer. It's going to come out, it's going to look like a scampi, light and crisp, but on the inside, bam, that big flavour of butter and garlic and parsley and snail.
Our final dish is a big chip shop fave, meat pie. Beef is great, but it eats a lot of resources, with cattle occupying almost a quarter of the land on the planet. However, I've come up with a cheeky alternative.
This guy. Squirrel, but not our lovely red native squirrel.
Okay.
This invasive North American grey squirrel. It's on the list of the most invasive species on the planet, but I think they would make a lovely pie.
Humanely trapped and killed, then cooked with red wine, mushrooms and root vegetables, I'm hoping the squirrel in my pie will be a delicious alternative to steak.
That's the best sounding squirrel I've ever heard. Kate, you must have thought I was crackers asking you here to do all this.
Yes, yes it is.
I've got the run of the chippy today, so it's time to get ready for the lunchtime rush.
Oh, there's a queue.
What the customers don't know is that today their favourites are off the menu. There's only my sustainable alternatives on offer.
Ladies and gents, we have got jellyfish and crayfish fish cakes. We have got snail scampi. And we've got squirrel and mushroom pie.
Can I just get cod, please?
That's not on today, I'm afraid.
Can I try the fish cake, please?
Fish cake, absolutely.
I didn't know you could eat jellyfish.
Full of vitamins, full of minerals, increase your sexual libido.
I'll try the pie then. Takeaway chips, please.
Would you like to try some snail scampi as well?
I'm pretty sure I won't like it.
There we go. I'll chuck another one because they're quite small. There we are. Where are you from? Where are you
France.
from? France. In Britain, we eat squirrels all the time. This is like our national dish.
Finally, the rush is over, so I can get some feedback.
You had the squirrel and mushroom pie. What did you think of that?
It was delicious. I would definitely order it again.
Right. What did you think about the fish cake? Slightly different.
I was a bit apprehensive before when I saw it on the menu.
Yeah.
But tasting it was really nice.
You didn't mind my little drawing of a jellyfish?
No, I like that. That sold it to me.
What do you think about the idea of eating snails instead of your normal scampi?
Nah, just thought of the curly bits of the snail when I was eating.
But I haven't done this just for kicks. I want my dishes to make it on the menu permanently.
So, Kerry, end of lunchtime service, what were the winners for you?
Fish cakes, definitely.
Right.
Not a problem at all. Snail scampi, yes and no.
Right.
I think that would be a slow burner.
Listen, thank you ever so much.
No.
Nice one, Kerry. Brilliant.
Back in Southend, and it's time for our mate Gary Barlow to face his final food fight.
The next challenge for you, if you're up for it, is the roller coaster.
Oh, I love roller coasters.
Jim, I don't know.
Have you got to change your clothes?
What he's letting himself on for?
No.
I'll lend you some.
Really? Why? What's going to happen?
Mate, you're going to get covered.
In what?
Don't you worry about that.
Stay with us.
Everyone who comes to Food Fight Club has to eat their final course on the roller coaster. And it's all about how much you can pack away. This week, to up the style stakes, we're wearing traditional Belgian costumes.
Gary, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm ready to get off now.
Let's do it.
What?
There we go.
No. No. No.
That wasn't too bad, was it?
No. Do you know what the worst thing is? I didn't get a taste of anything. I didn't even get a piece of lettuce.
Still to come, our Belgian beer battle gets serious.
They think they're going to just walk all over us.
And the king of beer is revealed.
The winner is...
Back in the caff, and we're cracking open a selection of beautiful British beers.
Who would like to try some Lady Marmalade?
It's beer o'clock.
But our Belgian guests have turned up and they're feeling confident and they're up for a fight.
So you people from Belgium, you think that the world's beer is best in Belgium?
Of course.
That's just patronising.
Isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is, but it's the truth.
Our 5 beers versus your 5 beers. Bring it on. Cheers. Santé?
Yeah. You are dead.
It's the morning of our food fight. We're in Brussels and we've brought some of Britain's best brewers to challenge the Belgians for the title King of Beer. If we win, the mayor has said he will give us a British beer day across the city.
I tell you what, out of all the countries we have faced, Belgium has got to be the most confident. They think they're going to just walk all over us.
I'm a bit nervous, Jim, but the prize, of course, is if we do win, we can get British beer in all of these bars, which is very exciting.
That's worth fighting for.
Definitely.
The beer-off is taking place in the main square called De Grotmark. Each beer will be judged and scored by 3 international and highly decorated beer experts. A Belgian, a Brit, and an American.
When they're tasting, they look at first impressions.
Yes.
overall appearance, the aroma, how it feels in the mouth, taste, flavour, aftertaste, and then the overall impression, and everything's scored out of 10.
So beer has actually got a more dynamic range of markers than any other competition we've done so far.
Yeah.
Headed up by Belgian beer legend Jeff van der Steen, we're facing a dream team of Belgian brewers.
Goedemiddag, dames en heren.
And our master of ceremonies is Bert Kruisman, a famous Flemish celebrity and self-confessed beer obsessive.
Let the games begin. Bring in the beer.
Time for the first beer, and we're kicking off with the pale ales.
First up for the Belgians is De Conic, a local favourite with a fruity, velvety flavour, served up in a ball-shaped glass called a bollock.
Extremely fruity.
But Sarah's Brewster's Ale, with its beautiful citrus aroma and floral undertones, could really kick the bollock where it hurts.
That's my baby out there.
Beautiful head.
He just said beautiful head.
It's a lovely head. So close.
Round 2 is the sweet and malty strong ale category. The Belgians have gone for the Bush Ambre. At 12%, it's a beast of a beer.
Ooh. We reckon that Jonathan's Marisotta Vintage, with its strong malty flavour, will knock their socks off.
They cannot compete with this beer. They have nothing like it. Sumptuous.
Their beer, steeped in history, and it's the forefront of their culture. Our beer is a modern twist, and that is either going to play in our favour or play against us.
Round 3 is the Abbey beer category, and the Belgians are hot favourites.
There are 8 Trappist breweries in the world. 6 of them are in Belgium.
Yes.
There is only 1 Abbey beer in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
1.
We only need 1.
They've gone for the world-famous Westmalle Triple, a complex beer with a fruity flavour and creamy texture.
I like the carbonation level.
Up against this giant of a beer is Ampleforth Abbey beer. It's double fermented for a champagne-like finish.
I'm getting a lot of nut.
It's based on the recipe that the monks used to have when they brewed beer in the 1680s.
The Belgians are saying the British beer is looking like it's Irish coffee.
Round 4 is the dark beer, including stouts and porters, the beers that Britain gave to the world. The Belgian contender, the Stouteric, is light and dry with a bitter chocolatey aftertaste.
But Jonah's award-winning Colonel Export, with its aromas of leather, vanilla and chocolate, should be a winner.
It's very intriguing there.
It's very intriguing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the tension is growing because we have only 1 category to go. This is the ultimate fight between the British and the Belgians.
Yes.
Woo, woo.
Finally, it's the flavoured beers, a Belgian speciality. They've gone for a crowd pleaser, the Liefmans Curvé Brut. Made with fresh cherries, it's sweet with a sour punch.
But Adam's upping the stakes with his Innocent Gun beer, aged in Navy rum oak barrels.
This is a great, well-balanced beer, and the Belgian fruit beers, I just think they come off too sour sometimes.
Wow. I'm confident we're going to mark. The question is, have we marked high enough to beat the Belgians in their own city?
I have the results of the jury. We start with the pale ale. The winner is the Koning from Belgium.
Bad luck, darling.
We pass on to the barley wine.
Barley wine.
There, the winner is Bush from Belgium. Third category, dark beer.
We've got to do the stout.
This is really not going to plan. We need to get some wins under our belt if we're to stand any chance in this competition.
In this category, it's a draw. Happy on the British.
That was not what we were hoping for. A draw keeps us in the competition, but we need to start winning.
The Abbey beers. The winner is Belgium with Westmalle.
Oh, man. We are getting smashed.
That is a terrible result. we have no chance now. All we can do is salvage some national pride in the final round.
Last category, the flavored beers, and the winner is... Liefmans from Belgium.
Oh, man.
So I guess the winner is... It's Belgium.
Congratulations.
We have been well and truly mullered. The Belgians' confidence was well placed.
But you know what? Their brewing culture is ancient, and our British beer revolution is relatively young. So we'll be back, Belgium. Just you wait and see.
Meeting some of the country's most talented food and drink producers and taking our food fight on the road has been a revelation. So we lost against the Belgians. But we did hammer the French with our cheeses.
That's what it's all about.
And we battered the Germans with our sausages.
The winner is the English sausage. That was tense.
And gave the Italians a run for their money with our great British desserts.
It is a draw!
And we hope we've proved that British food truly does deserve its place on the world stage.